Major guys, Okto, people want to know, Okto, ushaifanya internship? Ushaichoro internship too?
Yeah, MJ.
MJ.
Yeah.
That was the first internship that you did?
That was the first internship.
Na job ambayo uliandikwa?
But nilipata job.
Uli get job?
Yeah, niliget job. Nilipiga na roho safi, so nilipata job.
Maze. All right. Ruby, let's go to you. What was your first internship?
Oh? Yeah,
we can hear you.
My first internship was immediately I just left high school. Mm-hmm. I used to love writing, so I sent in a story to Pulse magazine Standard, and I think a month after high school I was interning there as a writer.
Wow.
Yes.
Hey, Pulse. Hey, Susan, what was yours?
Let me tell you, Mina.
Tell us.
Ocha to see sugarcoat. Mine was not even an internship.
Yeah.
It was just go in, and you know they say when you have your foot inside, now you can find your bearing.
Yeah.
So Kubamba Radio was not really an internship. It was more of, so come to Fanya show, we see how you can do this. And then the Wadosis were impressed, so they asked to have a meeting with me and just to see where to place me. But as they were seeing where to place me, I was showing them where they should place me. So I started volunteering to like sit in for people when they're not in studio. And then eventually I figured, because I was still in uni, I told them, do you know what, can I treat this as my internship because it's a prerequisite to graduate? So they're like, yeah, sure, but we'll start in January. So I started going to Kubamba in September. So September, October, November, December, Bure. And here we are.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kia. What about you, Blanche?
For me, mine was not an internship per se, it was like a job. When we finished Form 4, during our time, everybody used to go for the computer classes. Me, I went to Kenya National Theatre to do the set books, the Jicho 4s, the Kifo Kisimanis, and the Mwisho wa Kosas. Yeah, I'm sure you have seen me. And if you have, probably you can't remember me. I was very thin. But that was my first. I went to theatre to act.
Okay. Mnasikia? What about you, Zed?
Funny thing is, it's on, yeah?
Yeah.
Or I don't even have to use it.
No, just use
it. Okay. Funny thing is, I've actually been in. Thank you. Let's try. Funny thing is, I've actually had the opportunity to work in 3 different organizations across my varsity career. I'm a legal student. Yeah, I was privileged to work at Kenya Ports Authority in my 2nd year. In my 3rd year, I was able to work with a partner of my senior, Maurice Mwande Okoth, the one who chairs camp at the moment, when he was still doing Talanta Mtani and the likes. And then after, I was able to do Chambers of Arbitration.
Check my... Okay, kutoka kwa wase wote Oktopizo ulikosea wapi? But just before we get back to you, Don, ladies and gentlemen, I also just wanted to inform you that Zed is one of the youngest CEOs in Kenya. Yeah, he's the CEO of Wave 360. Anyone who's heard of Wave 360? Anyone? Pigie makofi. So let me just get on to you, Susan. Job roles and job expectations. Like the first time you got to Kubamba during your internship, was it basically what you had envisioned it to look like, or be when you were in the university?
Is it what I envisioned?
Yeah, like was that internship what you had exactly envisioned it to look like or to be when you were back in uni? Ama when you got there, things were just super different?
Let me tell you, they always tell us, work hard so you can get good jobs. But they don't tell us some of these good jobs don't come with money. So, I mean, of course, there was always that expectation of, I'm really good at this, there should be a monetary compensation. Yeah. But in terms of like the practicality, yes, I expected it. I actually felt it was like a smooth entry. So I didn't experience any culture shock. It was premeditated. I expected it. Ni pesa tu. Ni hapo tu kwa pesa.
Hapo kwa salary expectations.
Mimi hata sikuwa na expectations.
Expectations ziliisha.
Nilikuwa nataka tu fare na lunch.
Fare na lunch. Na hiyo fare na lunch ulipewa?
God provided.
The Lord provided.
The Lord provided, yes.
There's another reality that we talk about, especially when you come from school. It's called the reality of tarmacking. Nyote mmeisikia? I know every one of us never wants to tarmac immediately after we're done with university, and every one of us wants to immediately land into a job that gives you a 6-figure salary. Sindio, unataka kuingia job 100,000, 150,000. Blanche, I'm sure that was the same for you. That desire was the same for you. Yeah. But just tell us, how was your journey before you landed into your first job?
Yes, we used to chochana that mi siwezi kuchukua kazi yenye sio ya 100,000. That was the figure, but to our surprise we got jobs for 15,000, and it was the jobs of you are an office assistant, unatumwa here and there to pay school fees, do shopping for the wadosis, and I think if you have a good attitude, you position, as Winnie said, you will be seen and you will be recognized. And also, go in with a vision. Like, okay, I want to be a director one day. Of course, I'm not going to be a director with 1 year experience or 0 experience. So, I mean, just a CV PR, because if I'm just going in and I want a senior position and I don't have any experience, who is going to consider you? So, just your attitude matters.
Attitude matters.
Yes, take the 15,000, but work like a CEO.
Eish.
Yeah.
Basically, take the 15K but work like a what? Zed, there's the reality whereby what you studied for is not necessarily what you're doing outside. Sindio? Zed, you studied law. Entertainment imetokea wapi?
If I'd actually just be very honest, I'm really grateful on the fact that the legal venture gave me an opportunity, one, to learn how to articulate, how to address yourself, and the legality and the contractual aspects on how to engage with the corporate sector. It came in as a plus. But then this is why I normally say, sometimes identify your niche, identify where your skill set is, and sometimes it can actually be contrary to what societal norms are or what people expect from you, your family, your friends. Because personally for me, it was absurd. When I went back home and told my dad that I want to do events, aliangalia like, yo, are you okay? Yeah. But it took time, consistency. I had to build what I have today over a period of time for me to give something I call a proof of concept. I had to showcase that indeed you can develop a skill set, you can be consistent, determinant, and through discipline you can actually get to monetize or to rather, build up on what you believe in. And yes, definitely, you don't have to practice what you studied. You can actually use what you studied to give you as a foundation to leverage on any other engagement you create. I have colleagues of mine who are working for the company. One did political science, and he's my DJ. One did environmental science, and she's actually the one who's doing public administration and policy. So we are a living example of you don't have to be what you studied for. Yeah. It basically is driven on passion, skill set, and identifying what your niche is. For sure. Yes.
Initially, when we were doing the sign-up, we actually asked questions about the kind of sectors that you guys hope to occupy or are currently occupying, and that's in terms of career. So just to just to get to know the kind of people that you have in the room. So how many of you are hoping or are doing anything that is finance-related? Finance sector? People who are in the finance sector? Okay. How many of you are into anything to do with manufacturing and engineering? Wanaume tu. Oh, kuna, okay. How many of you are into communications and media? All right. Communications and media. How many of you are into tourism and anything to do with hospitality? Tourism, hospitality. Okay. How many of you are into agriculture? Agriculture? Just one. Okay, nyi wengine mko wapi? How many of you are into tech and softwares? Oh, hey, okay. Wycliffe, your people, your followers. All right. Any sector that I haven't mentioned? Entertainment. What were entertainment? Hakuna course ya entertainment. University unafanya nini? Which course are you doing? This ethical hacking. Okay. Mesikia hao. One more person who was into entertainment. Those again? Aya, which other sector have I forgotten that I haven't? How many of you are into law and anything to do with the legal field and international relations? Wow. Hey, okay. Lawyers in the house. All right. So according to a survey that we actually did, we came and realized that almost 46% of students who take a particular course end up doing something completely and totally different from what they had studied for. So just ask your neighbor, is what you're studying for what you'll end up doing? Is what you're studying for what you actually do? Yeah? Imagine. So let me just get on to you. Ruby, you did law as well. Did you ever imagine that you would end up working in a PR agency?
I did law. By the time I was finishing with law, I realized the only things I had done in law was my internship at Kibera Law Courts. I had 3 months internship in Kibera Law Courts by the time I was finishing law, and 5 years experience in media. So wow. I had to come back to school. I did my second degree in public relations right here in Daystar. I actually graduated last year.
Makofi tafadhali. So right before we now just get onto it, I'd like now to get into the practicalities of the profession. So AI has become a conversation. Kweli wongo. And nowadays we're seeing that there are new things that are happening in the newsrooms, especially in the fields of media and communications, because that's the place where I occupy. As we were doing our research, we actually found out that, did you guys know that they actually want to replace news presenters or human news presenters with humanoids, or basically AI systems? You all didn't know that, right? Ruby, how is AI currently affecting the industry?
Okay. I need like 3 to 5 minutes to just explain that particular question.
You have 3.
Okay, perfect. You guys read, how many people get news from their phone? Like, you don't watch TV, you don't watch news, you just get your news from your phone. Practically everybody, right? So I want to introduce Tuko to you guys. I'd like to ask how many people actually read news from Tuko or watch our videos on YouTube? All right, cool. A few numbers. That's okay. So Tuko is the Kenyan digital media space is mostly owned by international companies. So Tuko is Kenyan. The writers that you guys see are all Kenyan, such as myself. But the company is owned it's owned in Ukraine by a company called Legit Media Group. So we're one of 5 in Africa. What am I trying to say? It's that AI, or rather the digital media industry in Kenya is, other than our influencers and our content creators that we know, most of the digital media that is in Kenya are owned by people from across the world. They were able to notice the potential of the digital space in Kenya. And when you speak about the transformation of how AI has transformed the industry in Kenya, the last 5 years, the media industry has gone through a proper disruption. If you've noticed, I know that Grace can tell us, if you've noticed, the last 3 years, media houses have been restructuring, retrenching. A lot of writers have lost their jobs. A lot of people have lost their jobs. And not because that the jobs are ending or because media is doing badly, but because now we need new types of positions. Currently, the way digital media houses are hiring, we're hiring according to our audience analysis, the data analysis that we're getting from your engagement. Those are the things that are telling us the kind of people that we want. So now we might not need somebody to translate or translate subtitles and all that for TV, but I definitely need a web designer. 5 years ago, us guys just needed somebody to develop the website for us and somebody to host. Now, we need somebody to do that data analytics every single day, because that has become a basic in our structure of how media works, right? Now, we don't just advertisement. How media makes money is not through the number of views that you guys were getting or the number of people that are reading our work, but rather the digital advertising solutions that we're able to offer companies. So Kitambo, a long time ago, newspapers used to, Daily Nation, People Daily, Standard, they used to make their money through advertisement. So if somebody comes and pays, let's say 500,000 shillings for one page of the newspaper. And that newspaper will be read by, let's say, we used to say one newspaper can be read by 5 people, you know. You will buy a newspaper, go home with it. It will be read, the wife will read maybe lifestyle, health, they will read business, the child will read entertainment, the teenager will read, Pulse and the gossip part. You know, you'll use it to watch, to see what program is coming on TV. But now, nobody is reading the newspaper anymore. I get my information online. That means that you spend at least 3 or 4 hours just scrolling your social media every day, right? And that's why you're getting all the information. That's why you're getting all the news, you're getting all the gossip, you're getting all the new dances, the new places to go, the new restaurants. And that's what companies need. They need to see, they want to see the engagement that you guys are offering as a digital news website. So this year, Tuko was called the biggest, or rather the largest digital news website in Kenya. And why is that? Because when I go to a client, I will be able to tell them that our website reaches 7 million people, unique users, every month. It means that 30 million unique users every month. It means that every day on our website, currently at this, what time is it? It's midday. So by now, the numbers that we have reached today with the stories that have been done, at least 700,000 at this particular time, going from the numbers that we've been getting every time. So how am I able to give you that information? Because we have a data analytics person in the office who's reading all that. We have people who've come in and have to learn on things like CMS and social media management. We have people whose only job from morning to evening is to talk and comment, to talk and chat with people on our comments, to post the stories that are written by our editors on social media, to create posters such as this and share them, repost the kind of the pictures that you guys are going to be posting today. There's somebody whose job is specifically that. Right? So social media management is a proper job, a well-paying job currently in the Kenyan media industry. AI is important. Do we use it to write articles? No. But if I was writing an article and I genuinely didn't have a headline that would make sense for me, or a headline that I feel would be well taken by the search engine, by the SEO on Google, I can go to ChatGPT and say, give me 10 different headlines for this particular story. Here are the details. Right? And it will be able to give me, I might not take one of it from there, but it will at least give me an inspiration of what kind of words are working for the website, what kind of keywords are important according to Google Trends at this particular time. And for you to be a media practitioner, you have to be able to understand all those things. So we moved past, like I said, I graduated from DISA this year, right? Last year. When we came in, we had PR, electronic media, print media, Israel in class together, print media, and digital marketing, right? And marketing. We didn't have anything on social media management. We didn't have anything on Google products, Google Analytics, data analytics. We didn't have things like that. But when you go, one of the things that we have seen, especially when we're hiring people right now, is that most graduates are lacking in this particular skills, and those are like the most paying skills right now. So you're told, as you're doing your degree, take that time and go to Google and look at all those free Google courses that they're giving, digital marketing and all that, and work on that. From there, then at least you can come in and say you have the skill set. Yeah.
All right. That's pretty cool. So right before I get on to Mr. Don Papichulo and the rest of you guys, msijali momonyeni tu mdomo ninawafikia. So Susan Grace, is AI taking away media jobs?
Are we letting it take our jobs?
Are we letting it take our jobs?
That's the other thing.
So every year, universities channel thousands and thousands of graduates into the media space and into the media sector. But it's so unfortunate that majority of the graduates who are getting into the space lack various, or rather they just lack their own niche in the industry. So how is it that graduates can prepare for this disruption that has just taken place in the media industry?
That's a very good question. Again, I think we were raised with the mentality of go to school. Once you come out of school, look for a job. And forgive me for this, but universities are focusing on teaching us how to be great employees. Rarely are they teaching us how to be our own bosses. So you come out of school thinking, I have to get a job, I have to get a job, I have to get a job. Why not create the job for yourself? And I think as a generation, we are extremely privileged because we have a variety of options. We have social media. Sahi ukituma CV yako NTV wasikupatia response, take your phone, start doing TikTok videos. And allow me to use this example, Aziad. I think 5 years ago, if you told Aziad she's going to get into the media space because of a simple dance, I think she would have laughed and said, yeah, sure, right? But I guess when her time came, she blew up and opportunities came her way. And kuna mtu mahali atakasirika aseme, mi ni graduate, niko na degree ya DISTA kwenye tunafunza communication. Why is Aziad getting that job and I'm not? And that's why we're talking about positioning yourself. We have seen a lot of, I don't know whether to call them influencers or socialites, who blow up, and then after a couple of months, we don't know where they went, right? But Aziad has remained consistent for a while. It's knowing that the university can only do so much. It will teach you, it will give you the skills. But out there, it's upon you. You've got to take the ball and keep it rolling. Yeah.
So there are various things, or rather emerging trends, that have come up in the HR space and also in the hiring market. Gibea, you are actually a quality assurance director and you are in charge of hiring people, right? Wycliffe is going to be sharing his story in just but a few. But Blanche, I think I'll take this one on to you because I believe you're the HR at Wadi Dekla. So what are some of those changes that have come up in the hiring space that have been brought about by AI?
You mentioned the ATS compliant CVs. So we don't use the Kitambo way of people are dropping envelopes and you're going through them. Now, as HRs, we are using the AI to shortlist and screen candidates for us. So yes, we have lost some. As a HR person, you need to upskill, because if you don't get to the program will get you. So what we are doing is advising young people like you to get your CVs ATS compliant, because you might be very, very qualified, but if your CV is not, because it's a program. If I can give an example, when you're applying for a job, look at the job description of the job post, and then your CV, edit to, of course, every position you're applying, you edit your CV. So what you do is you take your CV and use ChatGPT and ask it to, this is the job description, please make my CV to, yes. So at least ChatGPT will get you through the ATS and the screening, but again, when you come for the interview, you actually have to know what you are coming to present to us. So that is how it's changing in HR, which is very difficult because now we are getting a lot of qualified candidates because it is shortlisting, because you are using ChatGPT. But now when you come, tunaona haujui hiyo kazi. So at least use ChatGPT, but still learn. Yeah.
So Brian Mwenda tuseme yeye alitumia ChatGPT but he learned.
alitumia akasoma, but okay, and he actually knows the job.
He actually knows the job.
Yes.
All right, Susan, you wanted to add something on that.
Yeah, I like the way you've openly said, go to ChatGPT and have it draft a CV for you. Isn't that killing our brains? Like, are we getting to a point where we're entertaining laziness, where I don't have to put together a CV, let me just key it, then itoke, then nikuja ni present. I mean, yeah, are we allowing our brains to just...
And actually, that's a question that I wanted to ask Octopizzo, because Octopizzo, nowadays, vile ChatGPT zimekam, today we are also seeing that there are people who are literally writing lyrics, like music lyrics, na ChatGPT. In fact, just the other day, I was checking out something as we were doing our research, that there is a whole song that is apparently sung by Kanye West, but it's done by AI, and people actually think it's Kanye. Octopizzo, pia nyima artists, are these some of the challenges that you guys are going through?
It hasn't reached us yet. We rap in Sheng. I don't know ChatGPT knows Sheng yet. We are safe. We are safe.
You're safe.
So hii ni wasa wa kizungu wako na shida.
But
No, I'd say yes and no. Yes and no. But for us, it's mostly on the positive side, because now with all this artificial intelligence, you don't even need to go to the studio anymore these days. You can record from a phone, upload the file on a program, mixed, master. You don't need to go to the studio anymore. So it's making it easier for us. That's one. But I think for Swahili, Sheng speakers, I'm not worried about azijua Sheng itatoka kesho. So I'm not worried, man. I'm not worried about that. But also, we have bodies. As musicians, we have bodies that still protect us against tusemekasa hii ChatGPT itoe ngoma yangu, which actually I had one AI song. I don't know who uploaded it in some website. Me probably featuring Kali, I don't know. But done by AI.
if you know, you know.
You know? Done by AI. And yeah, I listened to it and it's not me. Yeah, so I don't think as artists we should be worried about it as much. We should actually be happy that it's there and try to understand what are the things we can use it for that maybe we didn't have like 5 years ago. But I think, like we said, everybody now, you don't need to take your music to radio. I don't take music to radio anymore. Even upcoming artists, they don't take music to radio. This is because of technology and AI. You know, you just need to have a marketing, I would say a marketing budget, and that's it. And the radio will have to look for you. Yeah.
The radio will have to look for you.
The radio will have to look for you.
One thing about Octopizzo is that every time...
Bro, have money and put it in marketing. That's one. Two, I built my career on social media. We are the first artists that radio never played us, because I think my content then was so political. We know most radio stations and TVs were owned by politicians, so there's content they couldn't play. So I built my career on Facebook. You know, when people were still not using Facebook for music, they were just using it to post pictures. And I started posting freestyles there. When Instagram came, I think I'm like the second or third people who actually joined, and just, I was lucky to, then I was working with some friend from the UN who also was working with Instagram. So as soon as I opened my page, it got verified. And then verification was a big deal. Sahi unanunua tu. Sahi it doesn't matter, but then it was very big. So once Instagram came and picked up, I even actually stopped using Facebook. So I just built Instagram like intensively, from what I post to what I want people to see, to what I want people not to see. All this was in consideration, but it took time, like 4 years when I had a team like, yo, I want to be the most followed guy. I want my post to be the most engaged, because this is how I get paid these days. I don't have to go perform these days. Yeah, I just tell you, oh, bro, check the IG, man. Check the engagement. And then call me back. You call me back, this is the red card. I don't have to perform anymore. Like, if you actually do it really well, you can post one post in a day and get like $2,000. Why are you going to...
Where?
You know?
Ladies and gentlemen who want to be in social media, mnasikia the reality. All right. So still on the creative sector and still on the creative economy. And also, I think, Octopizzo, you've opened a very important conversation, which is, I think, quite important in the present day economy, but it's about diversification of your product. So it's not only about the music, but it's also about using your platform to market products for other people. I know you're doing the product promotion with Hennessy. And I think that's also an important thing. The whole aspect or the whole factor of diversification is important in every business. So Zed, let me just ask you, how are AI systems helping you as an entrepreneur to diversify or even to manage and run your business?
Okay, just thinking it out, right?